Hey, so my name is Mish, and this is yet another video that I thought I should record. As you know, it's been a very long time since I last recorded anything, and look, as you can see, a lot of changes. Hence, this. You'd be happy to know that and to note that my hair's not in a towel this time, which is a good thing. I'm growing. I'm moving up in the world, which is lovely. But the face mask, that's a new addition. That may seem a bit weird, but look, we're gonna go with it because um, a lot of my things in my life are very spontaneous and impromptu. So this is just one of them. So I just had a shower, came downstairs. I took my laptop with me, brought it downstairs. My parents are not home, which is a very rare occasion, knowing what it's like to work from home and what that life is like now. So I'm really trying to appreciate the time that I have to relax and just I don't know, soak in this amazing atmosphere of just being home alone. I think a lot of you guys can understand how amazing that feeling is. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about, maybe not really about something, it's more of an update, on life itself and how everything has been going. And I will say, since the last time I made a video, a lot of things have happened. Um, there have been a lot of events in my life that have taken place that have drastically changed the way that I think of my life and of other people's lives, and how we all contribute to this world basically, and how important all of us really are in the grand scheme of things. Um, I have gone through periods of time where I've felt I was spiritually like in a drought. I did not know what to do. I did not know who to turn to. I felt very alone, and I didn't know if even the closest people to me would understand where I'm coming from. And it's this very, um, it's this very lonesome sort of experience where you don't know if anyone really understands. When in reality, a lot of people do understand, and a lot of people are willing to understand even if they don't, and listen to what you are going through, which is something that I've actually learned um, through these couple of months. Uh, I have I've seen how people have been torn apart from each other. I've seen friendship groups literally fall apart, and like as if they've been picked off one by one by like vultures or something. It's been terrible to watch, but it's been things that have really changed the way that I see my social circle. And um, I have to say, like I've been put into very uncomfortable situations when it comes to confronting people and talking to people. And um, I've often thought, like, why is this, like, why now? And like, what am I doing for like these things to happen, like arguments and people falling out of your life and those sort of things, and friendships coming falling apart. And I've often wondered, like, what is it that I'm doing that is making this happen, right? And because if you I'm not sure about you guys, but I tend to look at my life as kind of this massive puzzle. And when something falls out, I inspect it very thoroughly, and I wonder, like, what is it that I did wrong in that scenario that I could have done better, and I think of that often. And I will say, like, there have been moments in within that introspective period where I have really, really had mixed feelings, and a lot of negative mixed feelings towards people who in my eyes have acted so rationally, and um, been very up and down. And it's been hard for me to understand where they're coming from, but I have with time understood where they're coming from, which makes it hard because then you can't be angry, because you understand where they're coming from. um, but I will say that with time I've understood that the people that have made my life the most like hard thing, and have made my life so consumed with struggle and misunderstanding, are the people who have helped me the most, and are the people who have actually helped me grow the most. And I look at my friends now, and like this platform of people that are equally going to teach me something. Like every single person that comes into my life in any way, shape, or form, even if it's by just seeing them and like meeting them on one day and then never seeing them again. Like even because there are people like that. If you guys go to uni, like sometimes you see like that one person that sits next to you doing a toot, and then you start up a talk, like you start up talking and start up this banter, and then like the next toot comes and they're like nowhere to be seen, and they've like dropped out, or they've gotten into a new course, or something has happened, and then you basically never see them again. But those people have helped you in some way or another. If not anything, they've helped you understand that people can be very temporary. And so just like that, I feel every single person in my life has taught me something. Um, and it's I can't say that they're negative, because growing is can never be seen as negative. Growing up, forming opinions. I feel like you know my friends and my family and the people in my life are like sculptors, and I'm the clay, and they're kind of just forming me into this thing that is hopefully, fingers crossed, is going to be this beautiful thing, and wholesome. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I've understood that in these times of struggle, my faith has been something that has been a saving grace, and not only that, but a guiding light, um, to just being able to deal with this sort of thing. Um, it's hard to go through these things without having an understanding as to why it's happening, or um, what I can do to cope with it, and having God, as a concept in my life, as a man that understands me for who I am, is this amazing amazing thing. And I count myself lucky every day that I have faith, and I have something that I can fall back on. And and that being said, although faith does kind of shape you in those times of struggle and contempt, it's also really important to know that you need to, like, I've learned that I need to really fall back on my faith even when things are good, because we tend to forget, don't we? When things are going really well, we tend to forget to be thankful, to be gracious, and to thank you know God, Jesus, Our Lady, the saints, for for all the good things in life. And it's so easy to just overlook that. Um, I've realized, if I distance myself from my body, from myself, if I distance my perspective away from me, suddenly everything is okay. And I don't know if you guys have tried this, and I mean, a lot of people have, but as soon as you think of, as soon as you care for others like you care for yourself, and like in your immediate circle, like your family, your like really close friends, the people who live close to you, the people you see often, as soon as you care about them and you give them a bit more thought than you did, suddenly the things you go through kind of vanish, and it's not like this 1-2 vanish kind of thing. It does take time, and it does take um, a bit of thought to kind of get to that point. It doesn't come from anywhere. Um, but yeah, look, I wanted to let you guys know that even going through the toughest time of your life, it can there is 100% hope. There is no, undoubtedly. I don't. It doesn't matter what anyone ever says about anything. If you know that there is hope, and if you believe that, there is genuinely nothing that can get in between you and your dreams. And obviously, a bit. I mean, sprinkles and dashes of hard work. Maybe not. Maybe a bit more than that. A lot of hard work, and perseverance. But that's not. If you have hope, that will really carry you across and through. In these last couple of months, I've been what you would call hopeless, and When you're hopeless, I've read somewhere that you tend to rely to satisfy this like this this emptiness inside of you. When you're hopeless, you don't really, and I don't mean hopeless isn't like, oh, you're a hopeless person. I mean hopeless isn't like you don't have hope for the future. You don't see anything good happening for you in the future, and that's lack of hope, right? When you're in that situation, it's so easy to want to think to satisfy the things that you can control, because you're hopeless, because you can't control things in your life that you wish you could control, right? So when those moments come about, and they will come about for everyone, it's so easy to fall into that trap of like, I need to satisfy the things of my body. Like, for example, comfort. In times of hopelessness, we see comfort in so many things. Overall, it's like lounging around, being lazy, being in a very sloth-like state, not getting into our work because we're lacking hope. And there are other things, eating, overeating, or lack of eating. All both of those things are things, we're done to satisfy a part of us that is empty, and we want to satisfy that sense of what we can control when we are in that hopeless state. There are things we can do. I mean, for our body, porn. A lot of people do fall back onto porn. It is the easiest thing to fall back on to satisfy yourself. There are a lot of things that people do. I mean, drugs, alcohol, excessive drinking, excessive eating, excessive sleeping potentially as well. All these things done excessively can be so detrimental to your growth and to who you are and to your future. And it's hard to see it when you're in that. And there's going to be a time where you're going to be in it for a bit. There's going to be a moment where you fall into that trap of just wanting to slather yourself in comfort and not do anything. And I will say, and I will admit, in the past few months, I have fallen into a bit of a trap. I have fallen into eating a bit more than I probably should have, and hence gaining a bit of weight. And it's something that I'm actively seeing out now, and I'm understanding how I respond to certain things in my life, and I'm trying to change that response to something else. When we're giving a certain stimuli, we sometimes can respond in a certain way. And now I'm trying to understand that and maybe switch that pattern of behavior to something a bit more healthier. I have been thinking a lot about that, and I hope that I will grow from this. There's lots of things that are happening now in the world and in, I'm sure, everyone's life at this point. This time of transition is very telling, I think, on us. Times of uncertainty can really change the way that we are and the way that we see the world, and not just that, but ourselves. I feel like we have, first of all, the utmost importance in our duty to be dutiful and to have faith in God, but also we need to have faith in ourselves. That's the second person we need to have faith in. This is ourselves before anyone else. God comes first. Ourselves, we come second. We have to really believe in ourselves, because if we don't, no one else will. I mean, they will, but if people don't see that we don't believe in ourselves, then they won't understand why they should believe in us to begin with. There's a lot of data. There's a lot of scientific data about that. A lot of things that you can look at, and lots of studies about how to grow that faith and how to grow that courage and a sense of self within you. And look, it's the whole fake it till you make it thing. That tends to help. But I think at the same time, having faith and believing that you were made for a greater purpose than just your job, than just your friends, your family, just like whatever that you are taking up your time with right now, whether it's school or uni, or if it's just a casual job, or if it's a full-time job, whatever you are really doing right now in your life, and it could be nothing even, you are made for something far greater than that. And as soon as we understand that, as soon as that clicks within us, there's genuinely nothing that we can't do. It's maddening, to think about how we only need a tiny push. We need a bit of a push from ourselves to make this happen. Um, that's my friend.